Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're diving into something really special, a movement that's transforming the simple act of repair into a powerful, secret ceremony for rebuilding communities. It's called Cohandy, and its story, well, it doesn't start with hope. It starts with a crisis.
But to really get what Cohandy is all about, you've got to understand the absolute disaster that sparked it. I mean, just imagine this. Billions of dollars in public money, money that was supposed to protect people from disasters, just gone. And the result wasn't just numbers on a page, it was a human catastrophe.
You see, this betrayal cooked up a man-made storm, one that left entire communities to drown in the wreckage of what they call ghost projects.
So here's the deal. Over in the Philippines, communities were promised these big flood control projects. But what they actually got were ghost projects. You know, contracts were signed, the money was paid out, but the work, it was never ever done. So instead of safety, they got corruption, kickbacks, and when the rains inevitably came, they got devastating floods. Public trust was completely washed away. But, out of that betrayal, something truly incredible started to grow. So this next part is all about the response. And it wasn't just a new organization, it was a whole new way of thinking about how to fix what's broken. And this is it. This is the core idea of Cohandy, sacred stewardship. Now, what's so fascinating here is how they completely reframe the idea of repair. We're not just talking about fixing a leaky pipe or a cracked wall. For them, it's a ceremonial act. It's about restoring the dignity of a person's home, of their community, and maybe most importantly, restoring the trust that was so carelessly thrown away. And this is their mission in a nutshell. First off, Cohandy is youth-led. It's all about activating young people to become these community stewards. Second, and this is huge, it's built on ethical contracting and totally transparent processes. The perfect antidote to the whole ghost project nightmare. But at its heart, it's all about community protection. Okay, so that's the big idea. But how does it actually work day to day? To really understand that, let's follow the journey of a young apprentice on their way to becoming a full-fledged steward. Every single person in Cohandy follows this really structured path, and they frame it as a series of sacred rites. It all starts with the intake, then they move on to earning badges through real-world action. They mark their progress with a ceremony, and it all leads to activation, where they become true stewards for their community. Now, let's zoom in on these badges because this is where it gets really cool. The very first one, Repair and Respect, is earned through a rite they call Hands of Honor. That's their first guided repair job. Then you have the Tenant Defender Badge, which they get after the Voice of the Block rite, where they actually help a neighbor understand their housing rights. So you see, each badge isn't just about learning a skill, it's about taking on a sacred responsibility. And you might be thinking this all sounds very ancient, very traditional, but get this. The whole thing is managed with modern tools. The apprentices use a steward portal on Telegram. They get their missions and confirm their tasks using these really cool ceremonial commands like /repair4 or /begin stewardship. It's this amazing blend of ancient ritual and modern technology. But the Cohandy movement isn't just a local thing. No way. It's built on this incredibly powerful connection that spans thousands of miles, linking the youth on the ground with a global diaspora. From Mauritania to Magat just captures that connection perfectly. It's like a spiritual bridge between young stewards in a place like the Mauritania corridor in the Bronx and the communities they are connected to and serving, like Magat in the Philippines. And that connection is made real through blessings, just like this one, that are shared from the diaspora directly to the apprentices. These phrases aren't just words. They transmit this deep sense of legacy and purpose. The work isn't just for today. It's part of a much bigger generational story of resilience. So who maintains this connection? They're called diaspora flamebearers. These are partners abroad who tune into the ceremonies through livestream. They share their own stories of struggle and triumph, and they send blessings to the young apprentices, literally passing a flame of remembrance and hope across the ocean. So what does all of this really add up to? These local repairs, the digital commands, the global blessings. What's the big picture? Well, it adds up to a structured, scalable model for actually building hope. And that local action is having a recognized global impact. Seriously, Cohandy's work doesn't exist in a bubble. It directly lines up with at least 7 of the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals. Let's break that down for a second. Their focus on ethical contracting, that tackles corruption, which is SDG 16, peace, justice, and strong institutions.
their apprentice program that provides real-world skills, that's SDG 4, quality education. And their work repairing homes and advocating for proper flood control, that's building sustainable cities, which is SDG 11. They're not just fixing homes, they're basically ritualizing global goals on a local level.
And this brings us to what might be the most powerful takeaway from the entire Cohandy movement. This quote says it all. They have shown that hope isn't just some fuzzy, abstract feeling. They've built a blueprint, a system with scrolls and badges and ceremonies that can be followed, adapted, and copied anywhere trust has been broken.
So, we're left with this final question. Cohandy started as a response to billions of dollars being stolen, but now they've built a system that aims to restore something far more valuable than money. It just makes you wonder, right? What else could we fix if we all started treating repair as a truly sacred act?